Before we start the video, I want you to subscribe to the best Telegram channel at the first link in the description, where we show our earnings on cryptocurrencies, and not only. Our capital that we manage is more than $3 million. Thanks for subscribing. Also in the description is a links to verified exchangers, when you register on which you get a welcome bonus from me. Let's get to the video. Friends, it's been exactly 1 year since we saw the tops in the last bull run. And guess what? In the previous bear market, it took just as long to get to the bottom. Not hinting at anything, but we have a very timely and interesting interview with Cathie Wood, a well-known and important person in finance, and a big supporter of cryptocurrencies. It touches on many important topics, one of which is investor confidence in cryptocurrency after the collapse of the FTX exchange. Now we will break down the main talking points and find out what the future holds for the crypto market. First, let me tell you who Cathie Wood is and what she is famous for, so you can better understand the context of her answers in the interview. Cathie Wood is a notorious investor and founder of ARK Invest. ARK Invest has been ranked by Forbes magazine as one of the fastest-growing and best-performing companies in the world. The funds focus on investing in the latest and most progressive technologies, for example, such as robotics, artificial intelligence, autonomous driving, and, of course, blockchain. Cathie Wood was the star of 2020 and early 2021. In fact, back then, during a time of active money printing, the stocks of the companies and her fund structure were rising the fastest. As a result, ARK Invest's stock price more than quadrupled in a relatively short period of time, from $37 to $160. That's about 400%. And for the stock market, that's like buying Bitcoin in 2015 for the $100 and holding it to this day. That's exactly what Cathie did, by the way. She invested $100,000 in the first cryptocurrency when the price was still at $250. And, so far, she hasn't sold anything. But starting in February 2021, ARK Invest began a reversal, which turned into a precipitous collapse in the fall. Now prices are back to the same marks from which the rapid growth began, namely about $36 per share. That is, those who believed Cathie Wood in March 2020, at this point, have earned nothing at all. And this is an important point that will give us a better understanding of what she is doing now and why she has these particular views on the stock and cryptocurrency markets. Let me remind you that just the other day, Cathie Wood went via bank and invested in significantly sagging GBTC stock, which trades to Bitcoin at a discount of over 40%. And in fact, there were rumors that Grayscale scam and they are out 633,000 Bitcoins. By the way, the latter information is not confirmed, as I wrote about in Telegram. Enthusiasts seem to have found their Bitcoins and all in place. But there is another threat for $7 billion. Told about it yesterday in our channel in Messenger. It is really important. Go to the group in red. And who is not yet subscribed to Cryptanic in Telegram, the link right below the video. Now we can understand exactly what drives Cathie Wood. And it's time to move on to her new interview for Bloomberg, from which I've selected some key points for you. As we know, the former head of the FTX exchange and founder of the investment firm Alameda Research showed incredibly risky and irresponsible management of funds and regular users' money. This led to the collapse of the exchange itself and a significant consequence for the entire crypto market. Now, the entire industry is causing skepticism among investors, especially when it comes to centralized exchanges. Actually, therefore, the first and very important question concerns the attitude of big institutional investors towards the crypto market. Will they now trust the world of crypto? To answer the question, Catherine asks us to look at the blockchains of the two major cryptocurrencies on the market, i.e., Bitcoin and Ethereum. The infrastructure has been holding up well for a long time and continues to grow relentlessly. The Bitcoin network's hash rate is at an extremely high level, despite the fact that the market has been bearish for a long time. This is a good indicator of the safety of the network. The same can be said about Ethereum, which shows a record number of Zestican coins. Consequently, the infrastructure works well, and that is one of the reasons why it is worth trusting. In my opinion, you can really say that, but only if you look at the tip of the iceberg and don't pay attention to other blockchains or projects. After all, many of them cannot be praised, especially in terms of security. Next, Cathie Wood focuses on decentralized finance, which stands out for its transparency and lack of managing intermediaries. This is a big advantage for users compared to centralized exchanges, although there are disadvantages as well. For example, the ease of use. That is, in fact, the crypto industry already has a good solution to the main problem related to transparency and irresponsible management. DeFi eliminates the presence of a person who can use his client's money at his personal discretion. To wrap up the story of trust, let's try to figure out how it was that Sam Bankman-Fried was able to pull the wool over everyone's eyes. Cathie Wood had most likely interacted with curly-haired Sam before. After all, she was an FTX conference attendee in the Bahamas. As she states, she had almost no direct interaction with him, but only one brief phone call just before the conference. And in fact, she is shocked at how many people were close to him. It would seem that just look at the documents and everything would make sense. But so many people were fooled, either because of his aura or his friendly atmosphere. People had far fewer questions than they should have. This is all still under investigation, and in fact, it is very strange that Sam Bankman-Fried is not still behind bars. What's more, he will still be participating as a speaker at the big conference, the New York Times, which will take place on November 30. Nevertheless, let's already abstract away from Curly Sam and listen to Cathie Wood's expert opinion on when and how the market will finally return to growth. But first, I want to know what you think of this clip. Do you want to make more like it? Like it or write what you think in the comments. We've already realized that crypto, after all, has a future. But how quickly can we see a recovery? Some people think the FTX crash delayed the beginning of a bullish trend for a few years, while others are convinced that it only accelerated the approach to the market bottom, and now we may turn around faster than we could have. That, indeed, the price of Bitcoin had already been stomping around $20,000 for months, and there was no prospect for a significant rise or attack. And yet the story with FTX and Alameda Research has changed things and allowed us to update the low. What does Catherine think about this? Could the whales still sell the market down? As the head of ARK Invest says, the very whale that could bring the market down was Sam Bankman-Fried, and he already has. Yes, there may be more falls, but given the size of the empire that collapsed, it is unlikely that further negative events could hit the market as hard as the FTX collapse did. Yes, a lot of people and companies lost a lot of money because of this story, but given the usefulness of blockchain technology and the role that Bitcoin and Ethereum can play in the new world, the recovery will happen pretty quickly. In addition, in her interview, Cathie Wood noted that she still holds to her prediction that Bitcoin will reach a price of $100,000 by 2023. After all, sometimes you have to go through a battle and survive crises before you can see who has been able to withstand the blow and survive. In fact, everything that's going on will only help the crypto industry get better, so that big investors will eventually pay attention to it. That's the opinion of the founder of ARK Invest, a person who made a stock purchase in a company that could potentially collapse. Perhaps she knows a little more than we do. Almost as positive about the crypto market shares a Bitcoin enthusiast, Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy. He believes Bitcoin will reach a price of $500,000 in the next decade. It is worth noting that he was also buying Bitcoin for his company at a good price in 2020. As a reminder, MicroStrategy has 130,000 Bitcoins on its balance sheet at an average price of $30,639. You can calculate for yourself what kind of drawdown they are sitting in right now. Michael and Catherine's stance is inspiringly positive, despite some loss of reputation in the crypto industry itself. Although, in fact, it is not the industry itself that is to blame, but the lack of proper regulation and control. It is not about the authorities and the state, but about the level of self-responsibility of large players. That is, the problem lies not in the technology, but in irresponsibility of individual representatives of the crypto world. Although some of them are not really irresponsible, but just scammers who are in a hurry to make easy money. It's a sad fact, but it's also normal for a still young industry. And if we talk about how fast we can recover and start growing, I think there are two factors that play a big role here: the global economy, and also the Bitcoin halving, which should happen in 2024. Inflation in USA has already started to fall, and investors believe in first monetary policy easing. And the growth of the cryptocurrency market, in fact, may start even before halving, that is, amid its anticipation. Thanks for watching, your Cryptanic.